PNC America News Channel. 15 minutes. Share with everyone. Finally, that speaks to us.
Derrick Johnson, president and CEO of the NAACP. Derrick was also at the Edmund Pettus Bridge for yesterday's commemoration. Welcome to Amplified. Always good to talk to you. I want to start with something that happened yesterday. When VP Harris arrived at Andrews Air Force Base, 2 people went through a security checkpoint, which forced the base into lockdown. One of these folks was armed. Let's talk about the state of things right now. It looks quite like the 50s and 60s when our leaders faced danger at the hands of their countrymen. We just talked about the J6er trial where family members are pitted against family members. Can you give your take on the political climate and what the NAACP is doing to be part of the solution, to bring folks to the table and to calm the rhetoric that literally is trying to do our leaders harm?
Well, this current political climate, we have seen a drastic increase in white supremacist behavior, white nationalists. It's not only in the U.S., but it's global in nature. When you think about what's taking place in Ukraine, much of what's fueled white nationalism in this country is Russia smear information, their information campaign, which really is emboldening more people to take to the streets with their white supremacist behavior in a way we have not seen since the 50s or 60s, with a political party that's pretty much given license for this type of behavior. So it's a dangerous moment for African Americans. In fact, it's dangerous for any community that's considered the other.
Derrick, I think about the culture shift that had to happen for us to even get to the policy shift. I mean, sometimes there were legal wins, sometimes there were legal setbacks, but really I think what made the nation wake up in the 60s and get us to a place where President Johnson could start to move some legislation was seeing the images of what was happening, the attacks on and assaults on Black people. We got to see that video, and then people of all walks of life with the NAACP came together and said, wait a minute, we need a completely different culture here. I wonder, what is your take on the work that needs to be done now to address that culture piece? Because the Trump era completely emboldened and just, emboldened and brought back out a lot of what we thought we had stomped down into the bowels of society, and now walking the streets are these white nationalists. So what do you think, before we get into the policy stuff, just about where we are culturally and what might need to happen to move the needle there?
But for African Americans, culture, we must really assert our citizenship, our voice in this moment. Even during the Civil Rights Movement, there was no one method, there was no one moment. There were multiple methods, multiple moments. When you even think about 65 and crossing the bridge, many individuals who came from Mississippi, 64 Freedom Summer, and went over to Selma to continue the advocacy. Mississippi was, could we get the control of our vote? Selma was, can we actually advance the conversation around voter protections? But the real milestone that's not celebrated was that next summer in Lowndes County, Alabama, can we control the vote? And that's where the concept of a political party we now call the Black Panther Party came up. And so for this moment, we have to recognize it's not about egocentric leadership. It's not about that one thing. It's about multiple people, multiple approaches, strategies to continue to push the envelope as far as we can to ensure equal protection under law is afforded to everyone. And for African Americans, we can protect the gains we've made as we continue to advance for future progress.
Oh, I love that message, because when we think about history, it loves to exalt Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as the only leader who was doing the work. But exactly to your point, SNCC was doing its thing, SCLC was doing its thing. Of course, you had the NAACP, and then you had groups like the Black Panther Party that came up in the wake of all of it, that working collectively were able to shake the nation down. And I just, wonder, I want to talk about voting rights here. Yesterday's walk across the Edmund Pettus Bridge is more than just symbolic. It seems to me that we have gone backwards, and we're actually losing ground where the right to vote is concerned. So I'm interested in, what the NAACP's plan is to combat the assault on voting rights, because we need to advance the conversation. We did advance the conversation. We went backwards in the conversation. What do we do now, Derrick?
So for us, we recognize this is a moment where we have to accelerate voter turnout in midterm election. I know people say, well, we say that every election is the most important election, but truth be told, every election is important because that's how we add our voice to determine the public policy that governs us. You know, it is a tale of two cities. Yesterday, we seen a diverse cabinet to come with the VP, an historic moment. Secretary Fudge, secretaries, you name the cabinet, with resources to support a community like Selma at the exact same time that Section 5 and Section 4 have been gutted as a result of the Supreme Court in 2013. Section 2 is teetering as a result of a Supreme Court decision last year. So it's a tale of two cities. We advance our voting in 2020 to have the historic election in Georgia to ensure that the white supremacists lead the White House while at the exact same time our voting rights are under attack. And we must continue to push, turn out the vote no matter what. The way you overcome vote suppression is turn out even more people until you can get control of public policy to put back in place the protections that are necessary. There are no shortcuts around it. There's no magical wand. It is about turning out in target areas. So for the NAACP, we have designed a metrically driven program to ensure we target the right areas, get out to vote, and we have to work hard to do that, and we cannot get discouraged.
You know, I would like to hear a little bit more about your ground game there, because I got to say, I track this clearly all day, every day. And sometimes even I feel a bit discouraged about what our real opportunities are to start to beat back a lot of these attacks. Because even as we show up in mass, right? Even as we show up in mass, it doesn't always mean that we move the needle in a way that it builds enough power to change things, right? So Georgia, being a really great example of this, can elect 2 Democrats to the U.S. Senate and presumably change the direction of all of this. But that's not actually what's shaken out. And then we see voter suppression in Georgia really get invoked in a way that is just heinous and horrible. How did that happen? We all showed up. We all voted. We can keep going state by state and see that. So I'm curious, like, what's the real ground game here to have some real transformation so that people don't lose hope?
Well, first of all, we know that foundationally, if we do nothing, what we're going to get? We're going to get worse. So that we start from that premise. And then you build from that premise. Where are the significant races so we can at least hold the line so we can get the opportunity to advance the line? Those are target House races across the country. We won't know what those are until the redistricting process is completed, and then we can identify where can we move the needle with African American voters, whether it's 1% or 50% of African American voters turning out in target areas. Secondly, what are the states that will give us the most opportunity the best opportunities? You think about a state like Arizona. As frustrated as we have been with one of the senators there, that senator's margin of victory was the African American vote. Or you think about a state like Georgia, or you think a state like Michigan. Senator Peters would not have won if there was not a tremendous turnout in the city of Detroit and efforts put in place behind the scenes to ensure you could protect the integrity of the election so there would not be a successful legal challenge. So these are building blocks towards advancements that we must pursue, and we cannot get discouraged, because if we get discouraged and do nothing, the outcome will be much worse than what we currently have.